This section covers the warning capabilities and dissemination methods available to emergency management officials in support of an incident. Now, you are most likely familiar with the traditional warnings the National Weather Service issues, such as severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, and flash flood warnings. But there is also a long list of non-weather emergency messages that can be issued from the National Weather Service at the request of emergency management officials. These non-weather emergency messages include child abduction emergencies, civil emergency messages, evacuation immediately messages, local area emergency messages, 911 telephone outage messages, and shelter-in-place warnings. Each of these messages or warnings has a specific purpose, and a short description on each will be given at the end of this section. These non-weather emergency messages are issued at the request of emergency management officials via the National Weather Service. These warnings and messages are processed through the National Weather Service AWIPS computer system and disseminated to television, cable, and radio outlets. In addition, these messages and warnings are also sent across NOAA All Hazards radios. These radios will sound an audio tone alerting owners of the important message or warning that will be read next. NOAA All Hazards Radio covers virtually all of South Texas. In the event of a non-weather message or warning issued in support of an incident, owners who may not be watching television or listening to the radio will be alerted of important information and instructions on the incident. These NOAA All Hazards radios are also in every public school in the United States, and very soon will be in every private school. In addition to television, cable, and radio outlets, as well as NOAA All Hazards Radio, there is also a growing variety of wireless devices and receivers that can receive and display these non-weather messages and warnings. These include newer PDAs and smartphones. Here are the procedures for requesting the issuance of one of these messages and activating EAS. First, it is stressed that only emergency management coordinators can request EAS activation. The emergency management coordinator will need to call the toll-free number for the National Weather Service in Corpus Christi, 888-579-9731. Next, tell the forecaster what has happened, that you need to activate EAS, and what message you would like to use. Next, the forecaster will actually hang up the phone with you, and to verify the call is legitimate, the forecaster will immediately call you back using our office phone list for emergency management coordinators. So it is very important to have all your phone numbers, office and cells, up to date with the National Weather Service. When you are called back, please verbally dictate to us or send by fax exactly how you want the message to read. The National Weather Service will then turn around and immediately issue the message or warning. Here is a real-life example of a warning dissemination that occurred from our Louisville, Kentucky National Weather Service forecast office in response to a train derailment that occurred in January of 2007. Now, several of these tanker cars containing hazardous materials in this derailment caught fire. This resulted in a long stretch of I-65 being closed and several homes and businesses evacuated. At the request of the Kentucky Emergency Management Agency, the Louisville, Kentucky National Weather Service Forecast Office issued a civil emergency message and follow-up messages throughout the day. In addition, the Louisville, Kentucky National Weather Service Forecast Office also ran high split. Here is the actual civil emergency message issued at the request of the Kentucky Emergency Management Agency. A brief description of what had happened was listed in the message, as well as the health threats of the chemicals involved. A call to action for residents to shelter in place and block out all outside air was given at the end of the message. Here is the follow-up civil emergency message issued later that evening. Now, in addition to these non-weather messages and warnings going across television, cable, radio, and NOAA All Hazards Radio, they will also show up immediately on the National Weather Service webpage. Here is a screen capture of the Louisville, Kentucky National Weather Service webpage showing the area affected by the incident. Users of this webpage could click on this area to read the actual civil emergency message issued. This concludes this section on warning capabilities of the National Weather Service in support of an incident. The next section we will cover is the meteorological expertise the National Weather Service provides in support of incidents. But first, here is a short description on each of the messages or warnings we talked about in this previous section.